talk about, oh, you complaining. You complain too much. No, you question everything and complain too much. You're either questioning everything or you're complaining. It is what it is. People do take advantage of homeless people. Well, they take advantage of the fact that you're in a vulnerable situation. To be honest, they know exactly, and some people have never been homeless to understand what it's like to be homeless. And you being homeless, you understand exactly what I'm going through because you've been there, right? And to be honest, people literally do take advantage. They know that you're in a vulnerable situation. They know you got no place to go. Sometimes they know you will do anything for a place to live because you got no place. Oh, go here, go there. You need to be in this place. You need to be here. Because you got no place to go, you're going to accept it. And you're going to follow every rule that you have to follow because if you don't, you got no place. So obviously, you're just going to accept whatever someone says, even if it's not good, even if it's horrible and hateful, you still, because you got no place, right? And then if you speak up and say something, oh, then they throw you out. Oh, you got to get out. You got to go. Oh, yeah, about the AC. I got AC, so yeah, and I got a fan. And my AC is blowing cold air. Yeah, the AC is working. I walked in and, man, it was cool. Yeah, I've been sleeping real good with the AC. So you said when you was homeless, you had a full-time job and no shelter. So you was homeless and working, which proves my point. You didn't have enough money to pay for a place to live. You just literally proved my whole point. Why was you working to literally be homeless? That makes no sense. What kind of an idiot works to be homeless? I wouldn't be working while I'm homeless. That's crazy. Anyways, I was going to say something. Because people are weird. They be sending me... That's why I don't look at my messages sometimes. Because people be sending me unsolicited stuff. Even on TikTok, they say... I don't know how TikTok allows people to say stuff. Or there was one time... Oh my God. They sent me this photo. And I don't know how they was allowed to send it on TikTok. Because why is TikTok letting people send straight up porn? Someone please explain that to me. They sent me a picture of someone's behind and they had an apple in it, a green apple. TMI, that was disgusting. And then I was like, and TikTok allows them to send photos like that. I don't even know how they was able to slip through the cracks and send that, but they did. No, I'm not banned on TikTok. Why do you have to work your way up? You sound dumb. That's what society tells you. You're just as stupid as everyone else that follows the stupid ass laws. Okay? Rich people don't gotta pay taxes, but you do. But yet you let dumb mother effers that don't even have no brain whatsoever, they're stupid as F and make more money than you, tell you that you have to work your way up a job. You are the dumbest person alive. You listen to stupid mother effers that literally have no common sense and no brain, that are making more money than you, and they're brainless. They're dumb as fuck. And you listen to... Man, I'm gonna shut the F up, because what are you talking about? You got the stupidest person in office, sold people a $400 gold phone, only for them to be told they're not gonna receive it or a refund. He's out here scamming people out of $400. He scammed people for that Trump phone, and he's still running for office. This is the same man that told people to inject bleach into their skin to prevent COVID, and you're telling me that a stupid mother effort like that, and all these stupid other brainless people are sitting in office telling me I need to work my way up. Yeah, what happens when you work your way up to a job? You gotta work how many years before you work your way up to that job? And even if you work your way up there, you may not get up there. You can work hard and be a good model employee, and they still won't put you in that position. Miss me with that one. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to be going above and beyond for a company that won't even put me in that position. I go above and beyond for nothing. You go above and beyond for nothing. I'm not going to go above and beyond for nothing. Oh, work your way up. And then you're working your way, and they're like, oh, well, we don't think you're qualified for the job, making some stupid ass excuses. Like, I don't need your stupid ass excuses. You could take your stupid ass job and shove it. I don't need to be bending backwards, bend it like Beckham, for a freaking job that doesn't even care that if I pass away, they're just going to replace me. Right as soon as I pass away, they're going to put my job up and literally ask for applications. They're not going to be like condolences. They're not going to be like, they don't give a two-ish. My brother literally didn't have to work his way up to manager. Did you know that? He had never been a manager ever. And he got a manager's position. Yeah, he was doing the manager's work at Jimmy John's. He never even worked as a manager. You see how stupid you sound? Hey, you apply yourself to any job, you prove yourself, you don't have to work your way up. And even sometimes, use your common sense to, stop thinking that you need to conform to society. Society tells you to get a better paying job, to make money, you need a piece of paper. You need to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go get a degree, to get a piece of paper that shows that you're qualified. Why can't you just go get a book from Barnes & Noble, learn what you need to learn, the knowledge, and then go to that job and apply yourself and prove that you can work the job without having to get a degree? No, they need you to show a piece of paper. You're doing what society tells you because you're conforming to the man. You're a robot stuck to the system. And you got no way out. You have to do what you're told, because if you don't work your job, if you don't go to that job, you don't have a place to live, you don't have food, you don't have lights, you don't have electricity. They make it harder for you to sit down and try to figure out how to become rich, because there's only 1% of rich people. Haven't you ever thought, why is there 1% of rich people and there's so many poor people? Because they want to keep the poor poor and the rich rich. And the rich billionaires don't even have to pay as much taxes as you do. You're paying the taxes and they're getting off tax-free. What about all these evangelists, right? And that's one thing I hate is evangelist Christians. They live in mansions with 100 windows. You do not need a mansion with 100 windows talking about how you're trying to preach to the people, how you're trying to connect to them. You can't connect to me when you live in a mansion with 100 windows, because you preach God, you don't have to pay no taxes. I thought the church wasn't supposed to make money, but hey. And those are false prophets, because they're not supposed to make money off the word of God, but they do anyways. There's a few of them I don't like. Joel Osteen, Creflo Dollar. My dad used to make us watch Creflo Dollar, talking about you don't need to be all flashy, you don't need to wear all this expensive jewelry, and then he comes out there with these flashy suits, expensive jewelry. Like, man, who do you think you're preaching to? Because you're not preaching to the choir, you're preaching to someone else. Close them doors, lock them doors. Isn't that what he said? Not Creflo Dollar, but the other guy. Trying to say they needed to donate, and if everyone donated, he'd have at least 30,000. You crazy. And then Joel Osteen closing his doors in a flood and denying access to the people. And then I heard someone say, well, he closed it because it would have been dangerous. Nah, who cares? If, God risked his life. He died on a cross for your sins. And you mean to tell me this guy, oh no, let's stop making excuses for him. He's a horrible human being. He's the worst kind. You cannot have some preacher stand up there and preach to me that lives in some mansion. You saw the skit that Drewski did. Drewski was not lying. Why do they gotta have all these pyrotechnics? You know what I don't understand? Like, I don't love Legacy down. As a matter of fact, I take that back. I don't like Legacy at all. Legacy is a big mega church that does nothing for the people. Oh, we're giving back to the kids, to the kids that go to the that is BS. They put on this gigantic production all the time for Christmas. All this money when you got all these people out here in the homeless. Why don't you take that and help the homeless? What are you doing instead of preaching hatred? They got all these speakers up there. Like, there was one speaker one time that I had to listen to because I had no choice. I had to go to Bible study on Wednesday, right? Talking about how he was going to take the rights away from gay people. And I couldn't say nothing but had to sit there and listen to that. I don't need to listen to that. How you are calling women stupid? First of all, the lady that is running for Democratic office, I don't remember what it was. It wasn't presidency, obviously. But, it was like the elections had already passed. I think it was for governor or for mayor or something like that. I think it was Deb Haaland or something. The pastor Steve, and I hate Steve with a passion. I don't even like that guy. I'm just going to say I don't like Steve. I don't know why everybody is uplifting Steve. But anyways, that guy is something. He's like, they were up there, these grown men, talking down on women, calling them stupid, because a lot of these pastors believe that women can't preach, that there should not be women preachers allowed. I think that is stupid. Women could do whatever they want just as much as men can, and you sound stupid when you talk. I just hate that guy. Like, I don't understand how these churches are so successful on being hateful. He had this one guy. None of these people relate to me. I don't care. I don't go to I started to try to go back to church, right? I don't go to Bible study to hear you talk about politics. Okay? And literally politics should be separated from the church. What does God have anything to do with your ideology? Keep that over there, talking about how you're trying to tell women what to do with their bodies, but if your wife had a medical emergency and needed an abortion, you're going to tell her no? Because that's against you. Oh, they're trying to stop people. What is it? He was like, oh, they're trying to get rid of all the people in church and basically we need to procreate and make more babies. You're literally, that is so disgusting to say that women are only on this earth to make babies for men. I'm not on this earth to make babies for nobody. I'm not a baby maker. Oh, you should make all the babies you can. If you can make babies, make as many babies as you can. That's disgusting behavior for a man to sit up there in a freaking church and tell women the only thing they're good for is making babies is weird. I was not put on this earth to only make babies. I would not make babies. With the way men act, shoot. That is weird. Well, you'd be surprised. And it's not only that. Like, he's just hateful. Like, that Legacy church, like, Legacy is really, really toxic, really, really hateful. You know what I mean? Why are they out at night? Like, these kids should not be walking the streets at night. But I'm talking about Legacy. People don't have to talk about Legacy. I am, because I had to watch, like, I had to go to Bible study. And that's what annoyed me. And I had to go to Legacy. Sometimes I went. I just didn't like Legacy. You had a guy up there talking about how he's going to take the rights away. These mother effers will not stop talking about Charlie Kirk. Oh, I was there when Charlie Kirk died, and I'm so dead. Nobody cares. Did you know that the place that I was at, all the men there were saying how sad it was what happened to Charlie Kirk and that he died preaching the word of God? That's not what he died. And for you to sit there and literally defend a man that talks about how gun violence needs to happen is crazy. My brother died from gun violence. So I'm not going to defend anybody that sits there and says that gun violence needs to happen in order for people to uphold their Second Amendment, and then saying, yeah, he was preaching, they're trying to take our guns away. Nobody's trying to take nobody's guns away. If you go about it the right way, you can carry your guns. But it's getting guns into the hands of people that are mentally sick, the people that are not supposed to be getting guns, that are going out there and harming people. There was just another mass shooting at a library, and you want to tell me how that's safe? No one's trying to take your right to carry a gun away. If you go about it the right way, then you don't gotta worry. And the person that said that had mental illness and went crazy. You definitely should not have a gun in your hands. Talking about you want to burn down buildings. Oh, I know how to make this concoction that when you throw it on people, they'll burn. Like, even if you put anything on them, they won't stop burning. Like, what kind of statement is that to make to someone? Like, crazy mother effers, and they be talking about taking their rights away. Well, of course you should not have the rights. Especially if you have mental illness, you should not be carrying a gun at all. Yeah, it was a whole thing anyways. But yeah, that's the stuff that I had to hear. That I was going to hell, it was wrong for me to be bi. That's why I couldn't talk about being bisexual, is because I was told that it was wrong. And the last person that was open and talking about being non-binary, they got the boot. That's why when I said, well, I can't really talk about that, I couldn't, because I was in a super religious place where I couldn't talk about that. They were like, oh, it's wrong. Oh, it's in the Bible. Oh, they're just defending the Bible. God does not hate everybody. And if you think God hates everyone, then you're judgmental. The same people that are talking about don't judge others are judging others. I walked into Legacy Church and this guy literally gave me a disgusted look, and I'm like, okay, I'm bisexual. What, like, okay, why does that bother people so much? You guys knew from the get-go that I support the LGBTQIA plus community. So when I came out as bisexual, I don't understand why 2,000 plus people unfollowed me. It literally made no sense to me, because it's like, after me coming out, I lost a lot of followers, and it's like, you already knew what my page was, so why was you following me in the first place? I just recently figured that out about myself, and it's crazy. The amount of stuff I heard, and people saying, nah, that ain't even happened. You ain't even been hate crimes. I got told I was going to go to hell a lot. That I needed to see my ways, and that being gay is a sin. Gay people, they're pushing being gay onto other people. They're pushing their ideology. It is not Pride Month. It is Father's Month. That's what one of the speakers at Legacy said, that it's not Pride Month. It's about fathers, because absent fathers are the reason why people don't show up to church. No, that is so messed up. My father is sick. My father is out there with bipolar, on substances. And you're trying to tell me that it's not... Why are you even complaining? What does Pride Month have to do with you? Don't look at it, don't see it, and it won't bother you. You don't need to make a whole speech about how it's, we're taking it over. It's not Pride Month. It's Father's Month. Man, this church be weird AF. I didn't rename it. That's what the speaker said at that's what the speaker at Legacy said. He said it's not Pride Month, it's Father's Month, because it keeps ending the live. And I don't know why, so I just exited out and then completely and redid it. But anyways, like I was saying, like, legacy is so hateful. Like, there was literally a guy up there, and mind you, I already know where it was going. I know when some of these speakers are going to go into talking about Charlie Kirk, because they're like, he was a great man, and I was there when I saw him, get unalived. And, they used to hang out with him and talk. I'm like, whatever. And this guy had mentioned something about immigrants, which was horrible. And I was just sitting there at this church, and mind you, this was at Calvary. And I was just sitting there, and this guy says some horrible stuff. And this girl got up and was like, boo, boo. And then they were like, they just told her to leave it. I'm like, well, she has a right to her opinions, just like that guy, right? Sitting up there saying how borders are a good thing and talking about immigrants. Like, okay, that's your opinion. But why don't, if that's the case, why don't you take your behind and leave the United States? Because white people are immigrants. If you really want to get into it, this is stolen land. This isn't even your land. And you feel the need to express your opinions on land that you stole because you were a colonizer. Your ancestors colonized this land, and you want to try to tell other people they can't be here on land that is not even yours. The entitlement of white people to think that they're entitled to everything. You pillaged, rummaged, and took what wasn't yours. And you tried to unalive a whole generation of people. And if you don't know, look it up. They tried to wipe out all the indigenous people by taking away some cattle, or it was some animal that they wiped out, that they live off of, that they tried. It was a thing. And I don't understand why these people give opinions on stuff when you're an immigrant, so you shouldn't even be talking. Because a lot of you white people came from Europe. You're not from here. So you don't have no rights to tell someone what land they shouldn't be on when this is their land. And there are indigenous people of Mexico too, so what are you talking about? Talking about this ain't your land, blah, blah. No, this isn't your land. You're a colonizer. Your ancestors colonized. And you're trying to tell people what, like, so crazy. So crazy. Well, people do say this. People do. But I'm not telling people, I'm not being a bigot, and I'm not being a Zionist, and I'm not telling people they don't belong here. These are white people that don't belong here. It would be different if it was another race. But a white person telling someone they don't belong here is weird, considering the fact I don't go to church to hear you be hateful. You're trying to preach hateful ideology while using the Bible. You're supposed to read directly from the Bible and nothing else. I don't want to hear you try to back up your hateful opinions by using the Bible. Jesus was an immigrant himself, and you are trying to preach against the own person that you're preaching for. Makes literal no sense, considering Jesus was not even white. Read in the Bible how they describe Jesus. Jesus is not described as a white man, nor like you're preaching against everything that Jesus is about in the Bible. It literally makes no sense. You're twisting and misusing the Bible and then acting as if you're not a false prophet. Ooh, that was scary. That scared me. It's a firework. Jesus Christ. My dad's not white. He's black. Like, you're preaching against everything that you're against. Like, and you're preaching against everything that Jesus is. And it makes no sense. Jesus was an immigrant. Jesus is not white. And you're sitting here trying to preach this ideology, which you're trying to defend this Bible, which is so weird. That photo that they're using of Jesus, and I said this, and you can look this up. Look up Leonardo da Vinci's boyfriend and then come back. That's not a picture of Jesus. That's Leonardo da Vinci's boyfriend that he painted in his own image. Yes, Jesus was an immigrant. Look it up. They're using the Bible to preach against what is in the Bible, and it literally makes no sense. Jesus was an immigrant. Anybody will tell you that. Yes, it does say in the Bible how Jesus looked. It says Jesus had hair of wool. Jesus was dark-skinned. He was not white. And if you look it up, it describes exactly what Jesus looked like. It said Jesus had hair of wool. Duh. Like, I don't gotta read this to you, and I don't even know the Bible, and I know that. Agnostic is someone that believes in something, and that doesn't mean they don't completely believe in something. That's an atheist. Atheists don't believe in anything. I ain't hit nobody nowhere. As a matter of fact, I don't even need a response to that. I'll just block you. When the phone expires, well, I have money to pay my phone bill. So let's talk about when you're going to worry about yourself instead of worrying about me. When are you going to STF you? Like, some of you guys need to just seriously be quiet. Ain't nobody asked for your input. My phone's not going to expire because I'm going to pay it. Atheists don't believe in anything. An agnostic believes in something. Atheists believe in nothing, not even Jesus. And atheists don't even, like, some people believe atheists believe in the devil. No, that is like, what do you call those devil worshippers? I forget what they're called. They're not atheists. Not Satan. Well, it is satanic, but, and sometimes even those people don't even believe in that for the reasons people think. Well, you're not. Satanists. Yeah, Satanists are not even evil sometimes, but people believe that. Anyways. But yeah. I'm not uneducated. Agnostic is believing that it's possible to... No, agnostics believe in something that they believe in a spirit, but they don't believe in God. They believe in something, but not specifically in God. They believe that there is something, but they don't believe that it's God. Hello. You believe something, but you don't believe that, you don't name it. I don't want to benefit from the system. What are you contributing to the system? Because working is not contributing to the system. That is literally conforming to the system. You're conforming. You know what conformity is in conforming? You conform to a system that doesn't benefit you. Why would you want someone to work to not be able to afford to live? I'm not going to go to work so I can't afford to live. I would have to have more than one job to afford to live. I have to pay my car insurance. I would have to buy a car to get to work. And then I would have to pay And to put gas in the car, gas prices are so high. And then I have to pay electricity. I have to pay utilities because some places don't have all utilities paid. On top of that, you got to make 3 times the rent. So you ain't making all of that with just one job. You have to work 2. Ain't no way that I am working myself to death to work 2 jobs. You must be out of your mind. You know that people make $10,000 posting one video? They get offered $30,000 for one video, and you think I'm gonna sit here and work to live in the streets, to live out of a car, or to live in a shelter while having to go to work? Ain't no way I'm going to a homeless shelter and get up every day and go to work and have to go sleep back at a homeless shelter because I can't afford to live. How am I living off of you? Yeah, you probably pay for my health care pays for the places I'm at through my health care. Being an adult is doing what you want to do and not having someone choose for you. You're not my parent, so you don't get to sit here and tell me what I need to do. That is weird behavior. Oh, that's called being an adult. If I choose what I want to do, which is social media, then why does that bother you so much? And maybe I'm not making enough money, but who gives a fuck? Like, why is that your concern, whether I'm making enough money or not? It is none of your business how much money I'm making from social media. Doesn't matter how much money I'm making from social media. I'm not getting a job. So maybe worry about yourself instead of worrying about me. I have a job already. If I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job, then so be it. No, you don't get help when you have a job. Actually, you lose a lot of benefits. People that get disability, they can only make up to a certain amount. Like my dad got disability, so he couldn't make to a certain amount. So yeah, people, and I don't get food stamps, but people that get food stamps, like if my mom was working, she wouldn't get food stamps. You would only get about $30 a month in food stamps, depending on how much you make, which the minimum wage, yeah, with the minimum wage right now, the way it is, you only get $30 in food stamps. Benefits, housing, you wouldn't qualify for housing because you make enough to afford to live, which you can't even afford to live. And there are some programs that only allow you to pay 30% of your income, which is great, right? In a sense, in a perfect world, that's great. But then you've got all these other bills because some places aren't all utilities paid. Then you got to put gas in your car. Then you got to pay for the insurance in your car. Ain't nobody walking around in 97-degree heat, going by bus to go to work to just get sick. Like, I get very sick in the heat. There's no way I'm taking a bus to my job and say, hey, you could just save on gas because transportation is free. No, because I would have to take a car in the AC and not pass out trying to get to work. Ain't no way that I'm risking my life to go work for a job that isn't paying me a living wage. While the CEO kicks his feet up on a desk and makes more money than me. And who cares if they're making more money than me? I hate when people make this argument when I bring up a problematic content creator or an influencer. They're like, well, at least they're making money. They're making more money than you. I could give 2 fucks who makes more money than me. You are allowing racist people to make millions of dollars, and you're sitting here trying to combat and call out someone for being racist while defending someone who's racist, while defending someone who's very problematic and actually is a racist. It doesn't make sense. So you're a hypocrite. You're for racism. You can't call out racism and be for racism. You have to pick one side or the other. You're flip-flopping. You're teeter-totting. You teeter-totter to one side when it benefits you, and then you teeter-totter to the other. So when you don't want someone to hate you, you're going to go against racism. And then when you want to defend someone, you're going to defend racism because it's benefiting you. You don't know what you think. You don't stand 10 toes down. If you stood 10 toes down on what you thought, you wouldn't be doing this. How does that work? Like, people was here defending Leslie and defending Nova and all of this stuff and saying, oh, you're just like Chris Chan. I didn't sleep with my mom. I haven't done any of that. You compare me to very horrible human beings just because I'm problematic. I've never done any of those things that people have done. So why are you comparing me to a problematic person that has done worse than what I have done? And people have literally made videos telling you all this. You're using my situation, making up things as an excuse to bully someone. You get off on the fact that you make people homeless. You get enjoyment. It's enjoyment for you to see someone in distress, and it is very weird to me. And then you go to sleep every night like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna wake up the next day and do it again like it's a normal thing. It's true. Yes, you do need an excuse, because if that's the case, then just say, hey, I'm a bully. Okay, well, if you don't need an excuse, then say you're a bully. Say it. Put in the comments, I'm a bully, if you're not afraid and you don't need an excuse. Say the real reason why you're doing what you do. You're not bullying and harassing someone because they don't have a job. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm not bullying and harassing people in the streets because they don't have a job. Or else I wouldn't even go out there and bully and harass homeless people. That makes no sense. Exactly. Who said that I'm taking it out on anyone? What am I taking it out on? You sound like one of those parents that tells their child that singing isn't a real job. No one gives a fuck what you think a real job is. If you have to pay your own taxes, and when you work social media and is self-employed, that is literally a job when you have to pay your own taxes. So why are you sitting here trying to tell me what is or isn't a job? I don't give a fuck what you think a job is. I have a job, and you're not going to tell me that this isn't a job otherwise. You can scream from the rooftops. You could keep coming in my life and tell me to get a job. I don't give a fuck. And when you realize, and I don't know how many times I have to tell you, I don't give a fuck, for you to understand, I don't give a fuck. You could keep saying get a job all you want. I just won't give a fuck. I could give two shits what you think. I don't fucking care. It's not that fucking deep. Get over it. It's not that fucking serious for you to be sitting here saying get a job, get a job, get a job. Get a fucking life. My fucking Christ. Go talk to a fucking therapist if you are that upset at the fact that I don't have a job. You need a fucking reality check, because you got no life. You're miserable as fuck. You really are. What does being homeless have anything to do with not having a job? Like, are you fucking stupid? I can complain about whatever I want. This is my life. You can't complain. You bring up job, I'm just gonna block you. Then you'll really have to shut the fuck up. If you want to come in here and complain, that's on you. You don't have to come in here and complain. Just block somebody and shut the fuck up. And then you won't have to keep complaining every day. That could help you. You don't get to come in here and tell me what I can and cannot complain about. Homelessness should not be a fucking thing. And I am gonna say it because rich people love to hoard all the money in the world and it don't help no fucking buddy. Because Elon Musk is not taking the $1 trillion with him to his motherfucking grave. Elon Musk is not taking all that fucking money with him to the grave. What the fuck is he doing with it? There is no reason why a big ass bigot should have $1 million motherfucking dollars. Or not even $1 million, $1 trillion. You're gonna sit here and try to tell me what I need to talk about. I can talk about whatever I want. It's not your life. Your name is not Tophiachu. I'm the shit. This is my life. This is my shit. Don't nobody come here to see you, Otis. Thank you. Nobody coming to see you. I'm the entertainment. You just shut the fuck up and listen. And if you don't want to shut the fuck up and listen, then I can help you. I can show you, since you're too stupid to even learn how to block someone if you don't like what someone's doing. And then you think telling someone to get a job is going to antagonize them to block you. I'm not going to block you because you say get a job. I'm going to let your stupid ass keep commenting that. Because that shows you got no life. You got nothing better to do than to tell someone to get a job. Get up and get a fucking another job if it bothers you that much. Because you ain't working enough. Because if you was working enough, you wouldn't be worried about me. I am hot shit. When people look to sit here and say, oh, you a flop. You're a flop. You ain't never been on. Until you have a video that hits 50 million views, you can't say shit to me. And mind you, I was surprised that that video hit 53 million views. And I'm not bragging, by no means necessary. When I post a video, I don't care about views. But for you to sit here and say I ain't something, I am something. Because you come in this live stream to watch me every fucking day like clockwork. And you want to sit here and talk about how, oh, you know, you're not entertaining, you're not this, you're not that. You come to hear me speak. I don't come to hear you speak or no fucking buddy. You come in here to hear me say what I have to say. Okay? I am somebody. Because if I wasn't somebody, you wouldn't be as so concerned as you are. Well, if you don't come here to hear me speak, then leave. Then why are you here? Just to stare at a screen and look stupid? I don't go into a live stream and just stare at a screen. If I'm watching a live stream, it's because that person is entertaining, not because I'm sitting there looking stupid. There's a reason why you're here. And if you say you're here to hate, then that's just stupid. Ain't no way I'm going to sit in a live stream for hours to hate somebody and waste my life. I've only got one life to live. If I live to 100. And I'm not wasting my time that I could be out there having a good time. I could be on a beach somewheres, right? I could be somewheres rocking out to music, jamming out. I'm not going to sit on a live stream for hours and hate on somebody and have no life. Talking about I got a life. Okay, if you had something better to do, then you would be out there enjoying life. Why are you wasting your time enjoying life on somebody you don't like? You could be traveling the world. You could be seeing all the 7 wonders of the world, but yet you choose to be here and be a hater. If you wasn't here for me, no matter how you try to say it, you's a fan. You come every day to hate me, then you're a fan. That's fan behavior. Whether you want to paint it not as that, it is. No matter how you try to say it, whichever way, it still is, no matter what you try to say. Because you don't like it, the truth hurts. So, yeah. Well, like, good. Actually, I could see all of that and not have to pay money. You guys don't understand. Like, if I was about that life, I could literally just find some man to pay all my way for me. I could take free trips around the world. I could have already been had money. I could sit pretty and have someone else pay all of my bills for me and not have to lift a single finger. Okay? Anyways, I don't want to do that. You see, I don't want to do that. I just don't. I'm not one of those people. I've had people offer to pay my bills, but I don't do things like that. Like, yeah, you don't technically have to do those things, but like, they're like, oh, do you exchange like content? You know what type of content? Or do you exchange photos and I'll pay your bills? Like, no, I don't do any of that. And it's weird. Like, that's why I don't even check my messages, because people be sending unsolicited stuff. It's so gross. They're like, oh my God, I touched myself to you. And that's people online. I'm talking about people online. They are really weird. Like, some guy sent me his unsolicited. It was a video, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, this is why I don't look at my things. It's just like, is this what the male mind is? Like, all men think about is sex. And I get it. Like, you know, I'm not complaining. There's nothing wrong. To each their own. But, like, I'm trying to get a place to live. You know, these messages, they be freaky in the messages, and I'm like, bruh. And to be honest, people are going to probably say, nobody's sending you that. I don't need to be sharing other people's stuff. It's just gross. Like, there was this guy on Facebook that started sending me, and he's from another country, mind you. He just started sending me pictures of... Sorry, I had to check. Yeah, but that's a 1 bedroom. It's me and my mom. And we got 3 bedrooms worth of stuff in our apartment. And if we was to get a 1 bedroom, which I would need a 2 bedroom, it would look like hoarders, and then they would not allow us to have all of that stuff in a 1 bedroom, considering the fact that some places are real picky. We got a whole bunch of stuff in storage that I'm not even getting rid of. A lot of that stuff is my dad's stuff. A lot of that stuff is my brother's stuff. Yeah, you know, it is what it is. You don't need to be telling someone what they need to do. So how about you just worry about yourself and don't worry about me? I'm not going to live in a 1 bedroom. I want a 2 bedroom, and that's what I'm going to get. So don't tell me what I need to get. And no, there is no 1 bedroom for $500. And actually, for a few $100 more, we were paying for a 3 bedroom. So how are you paying $500? We were paying $810 for a 3 bedroom. When management took over, they did raise the rent, but we had already been paying that. So that's why our rent didn't get changed, because we were already paying that. So you must be doing something wrong if you're paying $500 for a couple $100 more. We was paying for a 3 bedroom. Work smarter, not harder. But anyways, like I was saying, it's just, you know, I don't have an issue, right? And here's the thing, I don't want people to get this assumption, you know, I make lip sync videos. I'm not in heat. I'm not any of that. Like, I'm not out here trying to think about having sex with people, okay? Yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, you're at that point where you know, but I'm not like that, you know. Yes, I do want to have a relationship with someone, but I'm not out here, like, you know, and if something happens, it happens, you know. But I don't understand, like, and I'm not one of those people that's like, you know, like, they can't talk about sex, or like, you know, they're so religious that they say sex is bad, and like, oh, that's not, you have to be married first before you can have sex. Like, no, if the time is right with someone, then yes. But like, why do men think it's okay just to send unsolicited? Like, I didn't even ask for that. And this dude on Facebook and this other dude was just sending me, he just started sending me straight up videos like, and I know why he was sending that. He was sending that to insinuate the fact that that's what, he was just trying to say, like, hey, you know, he was just trying to put that in my head, like, you know, that's what he wants to do to me. I already know that. I'm not stupid. Like, I don't even know you. You live in a whole other country, and to be honest with you, like, for me, I've been sexualized for most of my life. Like, when I was 10, I was sexualized when I was little. When I got older as a teen, you know, because I developed faster than other girls. I had big breasts when I was like 10. Like, and I have a big butt, so especially when I was out somewheres in the shirts I would wear, the men wouldn't look, you know how they say eyes up here? That's what it was like. And especially because I would encounter men and all they would do is say, hey, do you want to go back and sleep with me? It was, and even when I was younger, I was 16 years old, and this guy, like I said, his account got taken down on Facebook, but he said, this is what I want you to do to me. This older man sending me straight up porn videos on Facebook. This predator. And, you know, I never told my mom that. I just kept it to myself because we went to go report his account and it got taken down. So I was like, oh, well, he's gone. I don't need to really say anything. And then when I was 15, my friend's brother, and I thought I would never eat hot dogs again. And I'm going to tell you what happened. My friend's brother, we were downstairs and we were watching Hannah Montana. He takes over the TV. He puts on, it was like an episode of Howard Stern. And I remember this. It was disgusting. They were doing stuff with hot dogs, and then this girl, it was a giant, we're adults in here, so yeah, ain't no PG-13. She was like on this giant vibrator thing, and then they were running around just smelling the pad or something. Men, I don't know, well, it's Howard Stern, so obviously he's a perv. He's a pervert. He's like the biggest radio pervert ever. That's why they try to take his radio station down. Like that movie Private Parts about him, which I shouldn't have watched that when I was younger, but I did. Okay. Anyways, they tried to take him off the air because he was so raunchy. They didn't want anything like that on the air. Like when I was 15 years old, I was forced to watch that. I didn't have a choice. It was late at night. It was like 1, 2 a.m. And then he said her mom didn't like me at the time, so she would have blamed me and sent me home. And I can't be walking home at like 1 or 2 a.m. My parents would have literally, yeah, that would have not been good. So I didn't say anything. I just tried to go to sleep. But you know, when you hear things, it's hard not to, because, yeah. And then his response was literally, your brother showed me this. My brother's in elementary school. He's not showing anybody porn. That does not make sense. You're telling me a kid that is younger than you. Mind you, my friend's brother was in middle school. We were both in middle school. Like, that's weird. Because I was sexualized as a child. People said gross, disgusting things to me. Like, people are gross. I've you know, the men that are always like, can you help me find my dog? There was one guy like that. We were getting ready to go to the grocery store, and my mom said, wait right here. It was me and my brother. And this guy comes up, and you know, that's how they take kids. They kidnap kids, whatever. And he tried to kidnap us, and he was like, oh, he goes, can you help me find my dog? I lost my dog. And I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for my mom. I was smart enough. I didn't know to go. I knew not to go with anyone like that. And so I told my mom, and she was like, yeah, it's a good thing you didn't go with him. Like, even at that age, I was smart enough to know. But when it came to me being essayed when I was 10, I was just afraid of getting in trouble. That's why I didn't say anything. You know? And it sucks being, like, you know, I couldn't even be at a bus stop without some guy trying to hit on me or ask me if I need a ride or anything like that. Like, men don't even know how to talk to women anymore. It's so crazy. Like, the guy, I had just gotten out that very day when I tried to take my life. And this guy is saying I look like a girl that he used to fuck. Like, what the heck? He's like, you look like a girl I used to fuck. And then that's why he was trying to get with me, saying, can you go with me to the movies? Do you want to go with me to the movies and be my +1? Then he starts following me on the bus. He got on the bus real quick when I got on and starts following me. And then there was this other guy too that started following me and was whistling and trying to act like he wasn't following me when he was. It's just weird. Like, men don't know how to talk to women. They don't know how to treat women. And then people wonder why some people are single, right? In a sense, I kind of choose to be single. I don't want to, like, it's just too much. You can't even say no, and you either get unalived or harmed for even just rejecting a man. And then they turn violent because you rejected them, because they were taught to not take no by an answer, or no for an answer, and that if they consistently be persistent, eventually they will get what they want by being persistent. If they keep pursuing a woman that told them no, eventually she's gonna say yes. Well, the 10% battery came up. Why do they think a woman's gonna say yes if they continuously keep pursuing them? So the guy will leave them alone and stop asking. Hello, it's not because you were persistent. It's because you pushed her to the point where she got so bugged that she just said, yes, I'll go on a date with you, even though she didn't really want to. Some women don't want to hurt men's feelings. Men don't know how to take no for an answer without harming a woman. Oh, and especially, like, if I was a lesbian and I wasn't bi, there's these men that's like, if you have one night with me, you'll just see why you want to be with a man and not with a woman. That is weird behavior coming from you. You just already proved why, you know, women choose the bear over the man. It's just so weird. Men don't know how to treat women, and it's disgusting. Yes, I am somewhere safe, but to be honest, I don't know. I don't know why people want to call themselves a pervert. I'm not even gonna. You know, I get it. Men have their mind. Sex is on their mind all the time. I mean, hey, probably for women too sometimes. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to talk about sex, but I don't really know. Like, I'm not when I make lip sync videos, I'm not in heat. I'm not trying to have sex. I'm not trying to any of that. Like, what I do in my personal time is my personal time, and I don't understand why people trying to be in my personal time. To be honest with you, I'm trying to get a place to live. I'm not trying to think about that. The reason why I'm single is because people really do be sending me stuff. They send me unsolicited videos. They literally say, oh, I touched myself to you online, and they send me videos. They literally send stuff. This one guy said, you look pretty with your mouth open, or you look sexy with your mouth open. This weird creepy guy, and everyone starts making a joke and starts laughing with him. That's very misogynistic. So now you're literally defending this misogynistic man is weird. Anyways, I gotta go because my phone's at 10%. It's gonna die. I don't want it to die on you guys. So have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. I need to get to bed. I'm tired, but have a good day or night where you guys are, and I will see you guys later. I need to go get some sleep. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Stay safe.